Right now, somewhere near you, a mosquito is making a decision. It doesn't have a brain the size of a grain of rice. It doesn't have thoughts the way you do. But it is running a calculation. A cold, ancient, ruthlessly efficient calculation. And at the end of that calculation, it picks a victim. Maybe that victim is always you. You go to a barbecue. Everyone else laughs and drinks and barely notices the mosquitoes. But you walk home with 12 bites on your ankles and a quiet, burning suspicion that nature hates you personally. You're not imagining it. Scientists have known for decades that mosquitoes do not bite at random. They have preferences, strong ones. And the factors that make you irresistible to a mosquito are written into your body at a level so deep you cannot change them, no matter how much citronella candle you burn. Here's what's actually happening. Every second of every day, your body is broadcasting a signal. You can't feel it, you can't smell it, but a female mosquito, and it is always the female, she needs your blood to develop her eggs, can detect that signal from up to 50 meters away. That signal is carbon dioxide. Every time you exhale, you send a plume of CO2 drifting into the air. A mosquito's maxillary palp, a tiny sensory organ near its mouth, can detect concentrations of CO2 that differ by just a fraction of a percent. When she catches that scent, she locks in. She starts flying upwind, following the gradient, getting closer. But CO2 is just the first filter. It tells the mosquito there's a warm-blooded animal nearby, something worth investigating, but it doesn't tell her which animal, or which person. For that, she needs to get closer. And when she does, the real selection begins. Your skin is a chemical factory. Right now, without knowing it, you are producing and releasing over 300 different volatile compounds into the air around you. Some of those compounds come from your sweat glands. Some come from your skin bacteria. Some are metabolic byproducts carried out through your pores. Together, they create a scent fingerprint that is uniquely yours. And some fingerprints smell like a gourmet meal to a mosquito. Others smell like fast food. Others smell like a closed restaurant. Researchers at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine ran a landmark study. They took pairs of identical twins, genetically identical people, and exposed them to mosquitoes in controlled conditions. The mosquitoes showed a statistically significant preference for one twin over the other. Genetics played a role, but the twin studies also showed that environmental factors, what you eat, what lives on your skin, could override that preference. So what exactly are mosquitoes smelling? One of the biggest attractants is lactic acid. When your muscles work, they produce lactic acid as a byproduct, and it seeps out through your skin. The harder you've worked out, the more lactic acid you're releasing, the more irresistible you become. This is why mosquitoes target athletes and people who've just been active. Your body is literally advertising itself. Then there's ammonia and uric acid. Both of them are naturally present in human sweat, and both of them are strong mosquito attractants. Your baseline levels of these compounds are partly genetic. You didn't choose them. You cannot wash them off. They're being produced continuously from the inside. But here's where it gets strange. Scientists at Wageningen University in the Netherlands discovered something in the early 2000s that changed the way researchers think about mosquito attraction. They found that the bacteria living on your skin, the invisible ecosystem of microbes that covers every square centimeter of your body, may be even more important than the chemicals your body produces on its own. Think about what that means. The reason mosquitoes love you might not be you. It might be who's living on you. Different people have radically different skin microbiomes. The species of bacteria on your elbow are different from the species on your forearm, and the overall profile of your skin bacteria is different from every other person in the room. These bacteria eat your sweat and excrete their own volatile compounds, a secondary layer of scent that sits on top of your skin's natural chemistry. People with a more diverse skin microbiome tended to be less attractive to mosquitoes in the Wageningen studies. People with a smaller number of bacterial species, but a very high abundance of a few specific species, particularly certain Staphylococcus strains, were significantly more attractive. They weren't doing anything wrong. Their skin was just running a different population of microbes. Now here's the piece that surprises most people: your blood type. Studies conducted in Japan in the 1970s and replicated multiple times since found that people with type O blood are significantly more attractive to mosquitoes than people with type A blood. People with type B blood fall somewhere in between. Type AB, the rarest blood type, falls somewhere between A and B. The leading theory involves secretor status. About 85% of people secrete markers of their blood type through their skin. If you're a type O secretor, you're not just bleeding type O blood, you're sweating it in a sense. You're releasing chemical signals on your skin that indicate your blood type to anything sensitive enough to detect them. And mosquitoes, apparently, are that sensitive. Why would mosquitoes prefer one blood type over another? The honest answer is that we're still not completely sure. One hypothesis involves the carbohydrates on the surface of red blood cells. Different blood types have different sugar structures on their cell surfaces, and those structures affect the nutritional content of the blood. A female mosquito needs specific proteins and nutrients to develop viable eggs. She may have evolved to prefer the blood that best supports that process. Evolution, in other words, shaped her preferences over millions of years. She didn't decide to like type O blood. She inherited a preference that helped her ancestors reproduce more successfully. You just happen to have the blood she was designed for. There are other factors too. Pregnancy increases CO2 output by about 21%, according to research published in The Lancet. Pregnant women are significantly more attractive to mosquitoes, which has devastating implications in malaria-endemic regions, where pregnant women already face elevated risk. Body temperature matters. Mosquitoes use infrared sensors to detect heat once they're close. A warmer body, whether from exercise, illness, or just natural variation, becomes a clearer target. Alcohol consumption increases mosquito attraction almost immediately after you drink. A study published in the Journal of the American Mosquito Control Association found that after people drank just 350 milliliters of beer, mosquitoes were significantly more likely to land on them. The mechanism isn't fully understood. Ethanol does appear in sweat, but the effect seems larger than ethanol alone can explain. Body temperature after drinking may play a role, or the changes in skin chemistry that alcohol produces. Dark clothing makes you more visible. Mosquitoes navigate by sight as well as scent at close range. High contrast, dark colors, navy, black, red, make you easier to locate visually once they've already found you by smell. And then there's the factor that none of this fully explains: individual variation. About 20% of people are what researchers call highly attractive to mosquitoes. Another fraction are genuinely, persistently unattractive, and the same person can shift between states over the course of a year. Changes in diet, changes in medication, changes in the skin microbiome, all of these shift your scent fingerprint in ways that may move you up or down on the mosquito's preference list. There is one group of people who consistently show lower mosquito attraction across studies. People who consume higher amounts of garlic and vitamin B1, also called thiamine, seem to produce skin compounds that mosquitoes find less appealing. The evidence isn't strong enough for a firm recommendation, and the effect is modest, but it exists. The mosquito doesn't know your name. She doesn't know that you have a dinner reservation, or that you're wearing your nice clothes, or that you've been applying DEET spray diligently while your friend across the patio has done nothing and remains completely unbothered. She just knows what she smells, and what she smells, 300 million years of evolution have trained her to evaluate in milliseconds. The first land animals appeared roughly 375 million years ago. Mosquitoes have been around for at least 100 million years. They were biting dinosaurs before the asteroid hit. They have been selecting and targeting and refining their preferences through an amount of time that the human mind literally cannot visualize. And somewhere in that vast evolutionary timeline, they developed a very specific taste. Maybe it tastes like you. The next time you're the only one getting bitten at the table, here's what you now know. It is not bad luck. It is not arbitrary. It is the output of a biological system of extraordinary precision, detecting your CO2 from 50 meters away, homing in on your specific volatile compounds, reading your skin bacteria, sensing your blood type signals, measuring your body heat, and arriving at a conclusion that evolution has been refining since before the first human drew breath. You are not being bitten. You are being chosen. And somewhere on your skin right now, there is a calculation running, ancient, invisible, and ruthlessly efficient, deciding whether you're worth the trip.